In the boundless tapestry of existence, where stars whisper secrets to the void and time flows like a river through the cosmos, there emerged beings of light so radiant, so pure, they seem to transcend the very fabric of reality. The Naaru, as they came to be known, are celestial entities born from the light itself, the primal force of creation and order. They are the cosmic harbingers of hope, the eternal luminaries in the shadowed war against darkness. These enigmatic beings first shimmered into existence in a realm far beyond the mortal grasp, in the tranquil expanse of the great dark beyond. Their origin is a mystery veiled in the mists of eternity, a tale whispered in hushed reverence by scholars and seers. Some say that the Naaru were formed in the aftermath of a great cosmic event, their essence forged from the very heart of the light. Others believe they are the living manifestation of the light's will, sent forth to bring order to a universe teetering on the brink of chaos. As the Naaru glided through the vastness of space, their presence was marked by an aura of serenity and warmth, a beacon for souls lost in the tumultuous sea of existence. They possessed no corporeal form in the traditional sense, their bodies composed of shimmering energy and harmonious vibrations. Their voices, when heard, resonated with a melody that could soothe the most troubled of hearts and inspire the most profound of hopes. The Naaru's purpose was clear: to be the champions of the light, to spread its benevolent influence across the cosmos, and to oppose the ever-encroaching shadow of the void. For in the universe's endless dance between creation and destruction, the light's eternal struggle against the void's insidious grasp is an unending saga of cosmic proportions. The Naaru, with their unparalleled connection to the light, became its most devoted emissaries, seeding worlds with its blessings and guiding countless beings toward its luminescent embrace. Their arrival heralded an age of enlightenment and unity among the stars. They sought out those who shared their vision, who yearned for peace and order amidst the chaos. In their wisdom, the Naaru understood that the light's strength lay not in isolation, but in its capacity to illuminate the darkest corners of existence through unity and collaboration. Thus, the Naaru began to weave a grand tapestry of allies and champions, beings from myriad worlds who would stand as bastions against the encroaching shadows. Among these allies would eventually arise a force unlike any other, the Army of the Light, destined to become a beacon of hope in the universe's darkest hour. Yet before this force could be realized, the Naaru's journey through the cosmos was fraught with challenges unimaginable to mortals. These beings of pure light were not mere passive observers. They were architects of a grand design, striving to weave harmony where discord reigned. The Naaru's origins, shrouded in the mists of an age beyond reckoning, remain a mystery even to the most learned scholars of Azeroth. However, it is said that their formation was an act of cosmic benevolence, a divine response to the nascent universe's tumult. As living embodiments of the light, they emerged not from a singular genesis, but rather as a symphony of harmonious energies coalescing into sentient forms, each one a radiant nexus of peace. With their emergence, the Naaru set forth on a mission of enlightenment, spreading the light's influence across the fabric of reality. Their presence was a salve for worlds scarred by war and despair, their very essence capable of healing wounds both corporeal and spiritual. To those they touched, the Naaru offered not just power, but purpose, a path towards a future unclouded by the shadows of the past. Yet the Naaru were not omnipotent. Their luminous forms, though formidable, were not impervious to the encroaching darkness that sought to snuff out their light. They understood that to safeguard the cosmos, they required allies whose convictions matched their own unwavering resolve. This realization led them to seek out mortals, those who could wield the light's power in ways the Naaru themselves could not. Among the myriad realms, they found kindred spirits, heroes and heroines who, despite their mortal limitations, shared the Naaru's fervent desire to combat the forces of the void. These champions became the vanguard of a new era, their hearts fortified by the Naaru's teachings, their souls imbued with the light's indomitable will. As these alliances took root, the Naaru's vision of a universal peace seemed within reach. The army of the light began to form, a coalition of the willing united under a single banner to confront the rising tide of darkness. This burgeoning force, nurtured by the Naaru's guidance, would go on to challenge the might of the Burning Legion and stand firm against the ever-present threat of the Void. Thus, the stage was set for a cosmic struggle, one that would define the fate of countless worlds. The Naaru, steadfast in their mission, had sown the seeds of hope across the stars, and from these seeds would grow a force that could illuminate the darkest corners of existence. As the Naaru continued their celestial journey, they carried with them the promise of a brighter tomorrow, a testament to the enduring power of the light. In the vast expanse of the great dark beyond, where the boundaries of light and shadow blur into an infinite tapestry of stars, a dire threat began to unravel the fabric of existence itself. This threat bore a name that would echo through the ages: the Burning Legion. Forged in the chaos of the twisting nether, a realm where reality itself bends and warps, the Legion was an unholy army dedicated to the annihilation of all that held the light dear. The genesis of the Burning Legion lies with Sargeras, a titan once charged with the grand duty of safeguarding the universe from the malevolent forces of the Void. Once a paragon of righteousness, Sargeras' heart was twisted by visions of a cosmos consumed by darkness. In his desperate bid to preempt this grim fate, he fell into madness, believing that only through obliteration could true order be achieved. The irony was stark, for in his quest to save the universe, he became its greatest adversary. Under Sargeras' dread command, the Burning Legion arose, a monstrous host fueled by demonic might and infernal magic. World after world fell beneath their fiery onslaught, each conquest a grim testament to their relentless fury. The Legion's purpose was singular: to scour the universe of all life, to purge every trace of the light that stood in defiance of their dark master's vision. Yet the Legion's path was not without resistance. Across the stars, whispers of their coming spread like wildfire, setting the stage for a cosmic confrontation of unimaginable scale. The Naaru, those luminous paragons of hope, were among the first to perceive the shadows looming on the horizon. Their calls for unity echoed across the cosmos, a clarion cry to those who would stand against the encroaching darkness. As worlds trembled beneath the Legion's wrath, the Naaru sought champions who could match the Legion's ferocity with the brilliance of the light. This was no small task, for the Legion's power was as vast as it was insidious. Their influence seeped into the hearts of the weak, turning allies into foes, and leaving naught but ruin in their wake. Yet even in the face of such despair, the Naaru believed that the light of valor could pierce the deepest shadow. Amidst the chaos, a beacon of hope emerged: the Army of the Light. This coalition of diverse heroes, bound by their commitment to the light, was the universe's answer to the Burning Legion's tyranny. Guided by the Naaru's wisdom, they forged alliances that transcended the barriers of race and realm. Together, they would stand as a bulwark against the coming storm. But as the shadow of the Legion stretched ever longer, it became clear that the Legion's ambition was as boundless as it was insidious. The Burning Legion, an infernal army born of fell fire and dark magic, sought to unravel the very fabric of existence. Under the malevolent command of Sargeras, the fallen titan whose betrayal had unleashed the Legion upon the cosmos, they carved a path of annihilation across countless worlds. The Legion's aim was not merely conquest, but the utter obliteration of all that was pure and bright. The Army of the Light faced a foe that had mastered the art of terror and destruction. The Legion's ranks were swollen with demons of every conceivable form and power, each more fearsome than the last. They wielded Feel, a chaotic energy that corrupted everything it touched. a blight that threatened to consume all life. With each victory, the Legion grew stronger, their dark influence spreading like an unstoppable plague. As the army of the light rallied their forces, the Naaru, ever vigilant, foresaw the necessity of unity and strength. The celestial beings endeavored to bolster their allies, imbuing them with the radiant power of the light to counter the Legion's fell corruption. Battle raged across the stars, and the army of the light fought valiantly, their resolve unyielding even in the face of overwhelming odds. Yet, the Legion's might was formidable, their numbers seemingly endless. With every world that fell, the Legion's hunger for destruction intensified, and their gaze fell upon Azeroth, a world brimming with untapped potential. The army of the light realized that this world could be the key to tipping the scales in their favor. But the path to salvation was fraught with peril, and the shadows of doubt loomed large. In this dire hour, heroes from disparate worlds heeded the call to arms, inspired by the Naaru's unwavering faith. The army of the light became a beacon of resistance, a symbol of hope standing resolute against the encroaching darkness. But they knew that the fate of countless worlds hinged upon their ability to withstand the Legion's relentless onslaught. And so, the stage was set for an epic confrontation, a battle that would decide the very fate of the universe. As the army of the light prepared to face the burning Legion, the universe held its breath, teetering on the edge of annihilation or salvation. With the Naaru's guidance and the courage of the brave souls who stood with them, the hope for a brighter future still flickered, though the shadows threatened to snuff it out. In the vast tapestry of the cosmos, the formation of the army of the light was not merely an act of defiance, but a testament to the resilience of hope against impending doom. In the wake of the Naaru's celestial call, a coalition began to emerge, drawing strength from diverse worlds and cultures scattered across the great dark beyond. This alliance was not born from necessity alone, but was a convergence of shared vision and purpose, a beacon against the encroaching shadow of the burning Legion. The Naaru, with their radiant wisdom, understood that this struggle required more than courage. It demanded unity among the disparate races of the universe. Among their first allies were the Draenei, an exiled people who had themselves once fled the Legion's unrelenting wrath. Guided by the Naaru, the Draenei became stalwart champions of the light, their unyielding faith and ancient knowledge proving indispensable in the burgeoning alliance. Yet the army of the light was destined to be more than an assemblage of the persecuted and the willing. It was to become a crucible for heroes, a forge where the brightest souls would be tempered and refined in the fires of conflict. From the enchanted forests of Azeroth to the shattered remnants of Outland, the Naaru sought those whose hearts burned with an indomitable will. Among them, the valiant paladins of Azeroth, warriors who had sworn to shield the innocent and vanquish darkness, found their place within this celestial phalanx. The formation of the army also attracted beings of unparalleled strength and honor, such as the mighty Titans, who had long stood as the guardians of order in the universe. Though their numbers had dwindled in the face of Sargeras' betrayal, those who remained lent their prodigious might to the cause. These colossal architects of worlds brought not only their strength, but their profound understanding of creation itself, an asset invaluable in the struggle against annihilation. As the army of the light swelled in ranks, so too did its strategies evolve. No longer was this a mere rallying of defenders, but a calculated movement that sought to penetrate the heart of the Legion's power. The Naaru, with their vast network of cosmic knowledge, orchestrated intricate campaigns that aimed to disrupt the Legion's plans and cut off their supply of fel magic at its source. The army's leaders, seasoned warriors and strategists, prepared meticulously for the battles to come, understanding that each skirmish was a step toward the ultimate confrontation with Sargeras himself. But even as this celestial alliance grew, it was not without its challenges. As the army of the light expanded its reach across the cosmos, seeking to unite disparate worlds under a banner of hope and resistance, The Naaru, with their radiant presence, served as beacons, drawing together diverse races and societies, each with their own histories, fears, and doubts. These mortal allies, from cunning tacticians to formidable warriors, were as varied as the stars themselves, bringing unique strengths to the burgeoning alliance. Yet this diversity was both a strength and a challenge, as differences in culture, philosophy, and past grievances threatened to undermine their unity. Within the ranks of the army, voices rose with competing visions for the future, and the Naaru found themselves navigating a complex tapestry of loyalty and ambition. It was a testament to their wisdom and patience that they managed to maintain cohesion, even as the pressures of impending conflict loomed ever larger. The Naaru understood that their celestial guidance was only part of the equation. The true strength of the army lay in the hearts and minds of its mortal members, and it was their conviction and resolve that would ultimately determine the success or failure of their crusade. As the army of the light persevered, their campaigns became more daring, their strategies more intricate. Skirmishes turned into full-scale battles, and with each engagement, the army learned and adapted, refining their tactics to counter the legion's formidable might. Yet the forces of darkness were not idle. Sargeras, ever the cunning adversary, unleashed new horrors, testing the resolve of this celestial alliance. Demonic legions, monstrous constructs, and corrupted champions sought to sow discord and fear, threatening to fracture the fragile unity that the Naaru had painstakingly forged. Despite these trials, the army persevered, driven by an unyielding belief in their cause. Every victory, no matter how small, was a beacon of hope, a testament to the power of unity in the face of overwhelming odds. And so, the army of the light pressed on, their flames of determination burning ever brighter against the encroaching shadows. In the crucible of those battles, heroes emerged, their names etched into the annals of history. These champions, inspired by the Naaru's vision, stood as paragons of courage and sacrifice. Their deeds became rallying cries, inspiring others to join the cause and take up arms against the legion's tyranny. The army of the light was no longer just a coalition of necessity. It had become a symbol, a promise that even the darkest night could be pierced by the light of hope. As this section of the tale concludes, we see an alliance tempered by adversity and strengthened by resolve, poised on the precipice of destiny. The army of the light, armed with the Naaru's wisdom and the indomitable spirit of its mortal allies, stood ready to confront the darkness. The stage was set for a cosmic confrontation that would echo through the ages, a struggle not only for survival, but for the very soul of creation itself. In the shadowed tapestry of the cosmos, amidst the eternal struggle between light and void, the Draenei emerged as a pivotal thread in destiny's design. Their saga began with a desperate exodus, a flight from the encroaching darkness that sought to extinguish their luminescent hope. Once known as the Xe'ra, a proud and advanced race, they hailed from the verdant world of our Argus, a beacon of civilization and knowledge. But this thriving utopia would soon teeter on the brink of devastation as Sargeras, the fallen titan, extended his infernal hand. Sargeras' arrival on Argus promised the Xe'ra unprecedented power and knowledge, but at a grave cost: their eternal souls. Among the Xe'ra, 3 leaders stood paramount: Kil'jaeden, Archimonde, and Velen. While Kil'jaeden and Archimonde were seduced by the fiery allure of Sargeras' vision, Velen was tormented by prophetic visions of his people's future enslavement and annihilation. In the midst of his turmoil, the Naaru, those celestial harbingers of hope, reached out to Velen, offering a path illuminated by the light. Thus, Velen, heeding the Naaru's call, gathered those who remained steadfast in their faith, rallying them to abandon their home and forsake the seductive promises of power. This exodus was not merely a physical journey, but a profound spiritual awakening, a renunciation of darkness in favor of the light's embrace. Fleeing aboard a Naaru vessel known as the Genedar, the Draenei, meaning exiled ones in their ancient tongue, began their odyssey across the stars. Their path was fraught with peril as the burning legions' gaze turned vengefully upon them. In the vastness of the cosmos, the Draenei found themselves hunted, their every step dogged by the relentless forces of the Legion. Yet, the Draenei were not alone. Guided by the Naaru, they traversed the great dark beyond, seeking refuge on distant worlds. Each new sanctuary offered respite, but also danger, as the Legion's relentless pursuit left trails of destruction in its wake. The Draenei's faith in the light sustained them, shaping their destiny as they rallied around Velen's leadership. Their journey was a testament to resilience, each world becoming a chapter in their epic struggle for survival. On each alien soil, the Draenei forged alliances with the inhabitants, spreading the tenets of hope and unity. They shared the wisdom of the Naaru, igniting sparks of resistance against the Legion's tyranny. In these alliances, the seeds of the Army of the Light were sown, as disparate peoples united under a common cause. Yet the Draenei's odyssey was far from its conclusion. As their journey continued, they would face trials and revelations that would test their resolve and redefine their role in the cosmic battle. Their path through the heavens, fraught with both triumph and tragedy, would draw them ever closer to the heart of the conflict. As the Draenei traversed the stars, they carried with them the enduring light of the Naaru, an ever-glowing beacon against the encroaching shadows of the burning Legion. Their vessels, imbued with the essence of Draenic faith and technology, were lifelines as they fled from world to world. Each new sanctuary, however temporary, offered both a refuge and a reminder of the relentless pursuit that shadowed them. Among the Draenei, the wisdom of their leader, Prophet Velen, guided their steps. Velen, with visions granted by the Naaru, foresaw the perils and promises that lay before them. His prophetic insight became their compass, steering them through the veils of time and space. Under his leadership, the Draenei became more than mere refugees. They were torchbearers of the light, carrying the hope of salvation for countless worlds. But their journey was not without its sacrifices. Each planet they touched bore witness to both their grace and their grief, as they left behind comrades who fell to the Legion's relentless advance. In their flight, the Draenei encountered other civilizations, some ancient and wise, others young and fierce. They formed pacts and alliances, teaching and learning the ways of the light. These exchanges fortified their ranks, as warriors and sages alike took up the mantle of the Light's crusade, drawn to the promise of a universe free from the Legion's tyranny. Through these bonds, the Draenei solidified their place as pivotal figures in the unfolding cosmic saga. Yet, with each new alliance, the burden of their destiny grew heavier. They bore the knowledge that the Legion's gaze was unyielding, and though they brought hope, they also brought danger. The Draenei's presence was both a gift and a curse, as worlds that harbored them often found themselves in the path of destruction. This harsh truth was a testament to the Legion's might, a reminder that even hope came at a cost. Despite the looming threat, the Draenei's faith never wavered. Their hearts, tempered by loss and longing, remained steadfast in their commitment to the light. This unwavering resolve became the cornerstone upon which future victories would be built. The Draenei, once a scattered and hunted people, now stood as paragons of resilience and courage, their hearts intertwined with the fate of the cosmos itself. As they pressed onward, the Draenei's journey was a luminous thread in the grand tapestry of the universe, a testament to the enduring power of hope amidst the darkness. Their saga, marked by trials and triumphs, continued to unfold, setting the stage for a confrontation that would echo across the stars and time itself. And thus, the Draenei moved ever forward towards a destiny that awaited in the heart of the storm, where their light would shine brightest against the void. The Light-Forged Crusade was a pivotal chapter in the celestial saga of the Army of the Light. As the Naaru's clarion call resonated across the cosmos, a new breed of warriors emerged from the crucible of conflict. These were the Lightforged, soldiers imbued with the very essence of the light, transformed through a sacred ritual that fused their mortal souls with the power of the divine. This transformation was no mere enhancement. It was a rebirth, a metamorphosis that imbued them with unwavering resolve and unparalleled strength to battle the encroaching darkness. The process of becoming Lightforged was perilous, demanding immense faith and fortitude. Aspirants underwent the rite of the Naaru, a transcendent ceremony that tested their dedication to the light and their willingness to sacrifice their former selves for the cause. Only those with the purest of hearts and the strongest of wills could withstand this ordeal and emerge as Lightforged. These warriors bore radiant sigils etched upon their skin, a testament to their divine bond and an ever-present reminder of their sacred duty. As the Lightforged ranks swelled, so too did their influence within the army of the light. They became beacons of hope and symbols of the unyielding strength of the light. Their presence on the battlefield was awe-inspiring as they wielded weapons infused with holy energy, cutting through the legion's fel-infused ranks with righteous fury. Their armor, forged in the light's crucible, shimmered with a celestial brilliance, reflecting the Naaru's eternal glow. Within the army's hierarchy, the Lightforged held positions of great honor and responsibility. They served as the vanguard in the assault against the burning legion, their swift and decisive strikes crippling the legion's advances. Their tactical acumen and mastery of light-based combat techniques made them indispensable leaders, guiding their fellow soldiers through the chaos of war. The Lightforged Crusade was not just a military campaign, it was a spiritual journey, a testament to the resilience of the light and its champions. As the army of the light pressed onward, the Lightforged became paragons of virtue, tirelessly working to forge alliances and inspire others to join their cause. Their presence galvanized the disparate factions within the army, uniting them under a single radiant banner. Yet the path of the Lightforged was fraught with challenges. As they delved deeper into the heart of darkness, they encountered forces beyond their comprehension, entities that twisted the very fabric of reality. Seeking to unravel the light's influence, the Lightforged would need every ounce of their divine strength and unwavering courage to confront these new adversaries. The forces arrayed against the Lightforged were formidable, a tapestry woven from the darkest threads of existence, each enemy more insidious than the last. These shadowy adversaries hailed from corners of the cosmos where the light's influence had never reached, where whispers of despair and chaos thrived. Among these nightmares were the Void Lords, ancient beings of unfathomable malice, whose very presence threatened to consume all that was pure and righteous. The Lightforged Crusade found itself locked in a desperate struggle, not just for survival, but for the very essence of what they believed in. Every battle against these abominations was a test of their resolve, a crucible in which their faith was either tempered or shattered. The Void Lords and their agents possessed powers that defied the natural laws of the universe, bending reality to their will, sowing seeds of fear and doubt among even the bravest of warriors. It was during these harrowing times that the Lightforged truly discovered what it meant to be vessels of the light. The Naaru, their celestial guides, illuminated paths through the darkness, offering visions and whispers of hope. These divine beings became beacons, their radiant presence a reminder that the light's warmth could pierce even the deepest shadows. But the Naaru's aid was not without cost. The burden of their guidance carried a weight that could bend the strongest of wills. Amidst this cosmic conflict, the Lightforged warriors learned to draw strength not only from the Naaru, but from each other. Bonds were forged in the fires of battle, alliances cemented by shared sacrifice and unyielding determination. The diversity of their ranks, heroes from myriad worlds and cultures, became their greatest asset. From the resolute Draenei to the stalwart humans and beyond, each brought unique strengths, forging a coalition that was a testament to the light's unifying power. Yet the Lightforged understood that victory could not be achieved through might alone. Wisdom and strategy were their greatest weapons against the Void's insidious plots. They adapted, learning to anticipate the unpredictable machinations of their enemies, crafting plans that disrupted the Void's dark designs. These strategies, born of necessity and honed through trial, became the linchpin of their resistance. As the crusade pressed on, the Lightforged came to embody the very ideals they fought to protect. Their battles were not merely against the physical manifestations of the Void, but against the despair and hopelessness that threatened to engulf the cosmos. In every victory, they found renewed purpose. In every setback, a lesson learned. In this relentless pursuit of the light's triumph, the Lightforged crusade became more than just warriors of the light. They became heralds of a new dawn, champions of a future untouched by the shadows of the past. Through their struggle, they bore witness to the indomitable spirit of the light, a force that promised to guide them through the darkest of nights into a realm of eternal radiance. As they stood on the precipice of destiny, the Lightforged knew that their crusade was far from over, yet they faced the coming trials with unwavering faith and unbreakable unity. For in the end, it was not just their strength that would determine the fate of the cosmos, but their enduring hope and unyielding courage. In the tumultuous epoch where the cosmic forces of light and void waged war, the Naaru, ever vigilant and unwavering, sought to extend their reach beyond the confines of prior alliances. Their gaze fell upon Azeroth, a world teeming with potential, one that had endured ceaseless trials at the hands of the malevolent Burning Legion. The Naaru, with their ethereal wisdom, saw in Azeroth a beacon of resilience and strength, a land that had birthed heroes of unparalleled valor and tenacity. The call to arms resonated deeply with the champions of Azeroth, a realm already tempered by the fires of conflict. Amongst those who rallied to the cause were the stalwart Night Elves, their communion with the natural world, and the arcane making them formidable allies. Their centuries-old enmity with the Burning Legion fueled their resolve, and their mastery over the arcane arts became a weapon to wield against the encroaching darkness. Not far behind were the steadfast dwarves, their indomitable spirit adding another layer of unyielding strength to the army of the light. Their craftsmanship and ingenuity in the art of war provided the coalition with weapons and technology to counter the Legion's fel-fueled onslaught. With hammer and anvil, they forged implements that would turn the tides of battle, their skill unmatched across the known worlds. The humans of Azeroth, known for their adaptability and courage, also answered the celestial call. Their kingdoms, though often fractious, united under the banner of the light, bringing with them a zeal for justice and a determination to see the Legion's tyranny extinguished. The paladins among them, warriors of both faith and steel, became living avatars of the light, channeling its power to smite the unholy. Alongside these races stood the stoic Tauren, whose deep spiritual connection to the earth and skies brought a unique harmony to the coalition. Their shamans tapped into the elemental forces, weaving them into a tapestry of power that bolstered the army's defenses and invigorated its warriors. As guardians of balance, the Tauren found common cause with the Naaru's quest to restore peace to the cosmos. The gnomes, though diminutive in stature, contributed with their unparalleled intellect, crafting ingenious devices and strategies that confounded the Legion at every turn. Their inventions, often unpredictable, added an element of surprise to the army's tactics. Yet, it was not just the races of Azeroth that bolstered the ranks of the Army of the Light. From the shadows emerged the enigmatic Pandaren, their martial prowess and philosophy of balance serving as a guiding light in the chaos of battle. Their unique perspective, honed through centuries of isolation and introspection, offered new insights into the nature of the conflict, and their presence became a testament to the unifying power of the light. As the Army of the Light grew in strength and diversity, so too did its resolve to stand against the Legion's relentless advance. United by a common purpose, these allies from Azeroth brought with them not only their might and wisdom, but also their indomitable spirit, a force as formidable as any weapon. Through their unity, the Naaru's vision of a brighter tomorrow began to take shape, setting the stage for a confrontation that would test the very limits of their courage and conviction. As the celestial forces gathered, the fate of countless worlds hung in the balance, waiting for the next move in the cosmic game of light versus void. Amidst the vast tapestry of light and shadow, the arrival of Azeroth's champions marked a turning point in the eternal struggle. These heroes, hailing from a world rich in history and diverse in its peoples, brought with them unique strengths and perspectives. The Alliance, with its storied history of unity among varied races, and the Horde, with its fierce resilience and adaptability, each contributed their strengths to the Army of the Light. Together, they forged bonds of camaraderie and trust that transcended their differences, uniting under the luminous banner of the Naaru. In the heart of this burgeoning alliance, the Paladins of the Silver Hand stood as paragons of virtue and strength. Their mastery of the light, honed through decades of battle on Azeroth, complemented the celestial guidance of the Naaru. These holy warriors became beacons of hope, their valor inspiring those who fought alongside them. Their presence was a testament to the unyielding human spirit and its capacity for heroism in the face of overwhelming odds. The Night Elves, with their ancient wisdom and deep connection to nature, offered invaluable insight into the workings of the cosmos. As custodians of the natural world, they understood the delicate balance between light and shadow, life and death. Their druids, wielders of vast natural power, became crucial in identifying and exploiting the weaknesses of the Burning Legion, turning the very essence of life against the demonic tide. From the depths of the earth emerged the dwarves, stalwart allies whose craftsmanship and engineering prowess were unrivaled. Their inventions and fortifications provided crucial support to the Army of the Light, bolstering defenses and crafting weapons of unparalleled power. These stout-hearted warriors, with their indomitable spirit and unbreakable resolve, stood firm in the face of adversity, their courage a bulwark against the encroaching darkness. Even the enigmatic gnomes, with their boundless curiosity and inventive genius, played a pivotal role. Their technological advancements and insatiable thirst for knowledge brought new possibilities to the fight against the Legion. From intricate machinery to arcane devices, the gnomes' contributions were as unexpected as they were indispensable. Together, these diverse forces from Azeroth forged an alliance that resonated with the Naaru's vision of unity and strength. In this crucible of conflict, they discovered that their differences were not a hindrance, but rather a source of unparalleled strength. The Naaru, celestial harbingers of hope, had seen the potential in these mortal champions, and now, as the Army of the Light stood ready to confront the darkness, the true test of their unity and resolve lay before them. In this fragile moment, with the cosmos poised on the edge of a blade, the allies from Azeroth and their celestial guides prepared for the coming storm. The convergence of light and dark, of mortal and divine, would herald a chapter in the annals of history where the fate of all creation was to be decided. Thus, the stage was set for a confrontation that would echo across the stars, a clash of titanic forces that would shape the destiny of the universe itself. Argus, the once verdant homeworld of the Xe'ra, now lay shrouded in the shadows of desolation. The world, once a beacon of knowledge and magic, had fallen, becoming a twisted monument to the Burning Legion's corruption. Beneath its ashen skies, the land bore the scars of a cataclysmic betrayal. Sargeras, once a titan of cosmic order, had sundered the planet's destiny when he turned Kil'jaeden and Archimonde against their own people, offering power beyond measure in exchange for loyalty to his apocalyptic cause. The transformation of Argus into a bastion of darkness was swift and merciless, as the skies above churned with fuel energies, and the land itself became a breeding ground for the Legion's infernal legions. The planet's very essence was consumed, twisted into a nightmarish realm where the Fel held dominion over all. The once glorious cities of the Xe'ra crumbled into ruins, their magnificent spires now nothing more than shattered echoes of a brighter past. Amidst this devastation, a small remnant of the Xe'ra, those who had followed Velen into exile, looked upon their homeland with hearts heavy with sorrow. The memories of Argus lingered like ghosts in their minds, haunting them with visions of what once was, a vibrant world, resplendent with arcane wonders and boundless potential, now reduced to a landscape of despair and ruin. The Draenei, as they now called themselves, mourned not only the loss of their home, but also the corruption of their brethren, who had become instruments of the Legion's malevolent will. Yet, within the darkness of Argus lay secrets yet unrevealed, mysteries that beckoned the army of the light. The Naaru, ever watchful, perceived the whispers of ancient powers buried beneath the ravaged surface. They sensed that the heart of Argus held a core of untapped potential, a light that had not yet been extinguished. It was a secret hidden within the shadow, a flicker of hope that could change the course of the eternal conflict between light and void. As the army of the light prepared to confront the horrors that awaited them, they knew the risk of venturing into the heart of the Legion's stronghold. The very air of Argus was thick with despair, its atmosphere tainted by the pervasive influence of fell corruption. Every step upon its surface was a reminder of the grave peril they faced. Yet the Naaru's guidance was unwavering, their resolve steeled by the promise of uncovering the planet's hidden truths. The light that lay buried beneath layers of darkness called to them, a beacon that urged them forward despite the dangers. With the fate of countless worlds hanging in the balance, the army of the light marshaled its forces for a decisive strike. They moved with purpose, each warrior driven by the knowledge that within the heart of Argus lay not only the key to the Legion's downfall, but perhaps the salvation of the universe itself. As they journeyed into the depths of this accursed world, they remained vigilant, ever aware that the true nature of Argus's secrets might offer a path to victory or plunge them further into the abyss. The journey to Argus was fraught with peril, as the very fabric of the planet seemed to resist the army of the light's advance. The skies above roiled with chaotic energies, remnants of the fell corruption that had taken hold of the once vibrant world. Here, the air was thick with the echoes of despair, and the land itself whispered of the countless lives lost to the Legion's dark designs. Yet it was within this crucible of ruin that the army of the light sought the hidden truths that could shatter the chains of their oppressors. Argus, once a beacon of knowledge and power, now lay shattered under the weight of its own tragic history. The ancient cities stood as silent witnesses to the devastation wrought by Sargeras' betrayal. Colossal spires, once gleaming with ethereal light, now lay broken, their secrets sealed within the ruins. As the army of the light forged deeper into the heart of this forsaken world, they discovered remnants of Eridar technology, arcane devices that pulsed with residual energies. These relics held the potential to unlock new strategies in their fight against the Legion, if only they could be deciphered. Amidst the desolation, the army of the light found evidence of resistance from within. Scattered among the ruins were signs of a defiant few who had dared to oppose the Legion from the shadows. These unsung heroes, their names lost to time, had left behind messages of hope, warnings, and rallying calls etched into the stones. Their courage inspired the army, breathing new life into their resolve and igniting a spark of rebellion against the overwhelming darkness. Yet the true secrets of Argus lay deeper still, in the very core of the world where the boundaries between light and shadow blurred. It was here that the army of the light encountered entities of immense power, neither entirely of the light nor the void. These enigmatic beings, ancient beyond measure, possessed knowledge that transcended the understanding of mortal minds. They spoke in riddles, their motives obscured, yet offered glimpses of a path that could lead to the Legion's undoing. The price of such knowledge was steep, for to tread this path required sacrifices unimagined. The army of the light stood at a crossroads, faced with an impossible choice. to embrace the full spectrum of Argus's secrets and wield them against the Legion, or to risk losing themselves to the same forces they sought to vanquish. It was a decision that would test the very essence of their mission, challenging their beliefs and the purity of their cause. As the shadows of Argus closed in, the army of the light understood that they were on the brink of a revelation that could alter the fabric of the cosmos. The secrets of Argus, shrouded in mystery and danger, beckoned them onward. With courage tempered by uncertainty, they pressed forward, knowing that whatever they uncovered in the depths of this ruined world would shape the destiny of all existence. In the ever-spanning conflict between light and void, the Naaru stood as the avatars of purity, their brilliance a beacon against the encroaching shadows. Yet even these celestial beings were not immune to the ravages of entropy and despair. In the throes of battle, when hope waned and their energies faltered, the Naaru faced an unsettling transformation. A once radiant entity could become devoid of its luminescence, succumbing to a state known as the Void, a darkened Naaru, a paradox of its former self. This metamorphosis was not merely a loss of light, but a profound shift in essence, a fall from grace that resonated across the cosmic tapestry. The process began subtly, often unnoticed by even the most observant of their allies. As the Naaru weakened, their harmonious energies began to fracture, discord seeping into their core. The melodic hum that signified their presence turned jarring, a harbinger of the chaos to come. The implications of this transformation were dire. A darkened Naaru was not just a loss for the forces of light, it became a weapon of incredible potency for the Void. Such entities retained a vestige of their former powers, now twisted by shadow, able to corrupt and consume, to spread dread and despair, where once they had inspired hope and courage. In the annals of the Army of the Light, the emergence of a darkened Naaru marked a moment of profound crisis. Those who had placed their faith in the unyielding benevolence of these beings were forced to confront the fragility of their champions. The very nature of the light as a force of absolute good was called into question. Could something so pure truly be infallible, if it could be so profoundly altered? It was a lesson harshly learned, for in the crucible of cosmic warfare, such transformations were not isolated incidents. The Army of the Light had to adapt, to find ways to mitigate the risk, and perhaps even reverse the course of such corruption. This new reality added layers of complexity to their strategies, for they now faced not only the external threat of the Legion and the Void Lords, but also the potential betrayal from within their ranks. Each darkened Naaru became a symbol of the duality inherent in all creation, a testament to the perpetual struggle between light and shadow that defined the universe. As the army grappled with these challenges, they were compelled to seek knowledge beyond their previous understanding. The path to reclaiming a fallen Naaru, to restoring its lost light, became a quest of paramount importance. They turned to the ancient texts and the wisdom of the Titans, searching for a glimmer of hope amidst the encroaching darkness. Amidst the tomes, the Army of the Light unraveled a revelation that was both illuminating and harrowing. They discovered that the Naaru, beings of pure light, could fall into a state of darkness known as the Void State. This transformation was a consequence of their very existence, a cycle where the light, when wounded and left to wane, could be consumed by the void that lay in wait. It was a stark reminder that even the paragons of purity were not immune to the universe's insidious balance. The knowledge unraveled the depths of cosmic duality. The Titans, with their vast archives of the cosmos, hinted at the symbiosis between light and void, a relationship more intertwined than previous doctrines had revealed. The realization that the Naaru could be both saviors and harbingers of doom was a sobering truth that threatened the very foundation of the army's beliefs. It called into question the nature of light itself and its presumed infallibility, Driven by the urgency to reclaim their celestial allies, the Army of the Light embarked on a perilous journey to the shattered world of Makari, a once glorious bastion of the Xe'ra, now a desolate remnant scarred by fell energies. Here, they hoped to find the key to restoring fallen Naaru, to reignite the light that had been consumed by the void. Guided by Velen's visions, their path was fraught with the echoes of past betrayals and the looming presence of the Void Lords, who watched with malicious intent. In the depths of Makari, they encountered a beacon of hope, a relic from the ancient past, imbued with the light's original essence. This artifact, known as the Heart of Light, held the potential to rejuvenate a darkened Naaru, to coax it back from the brink of oblivion and restore its radiant glory. Yet the risk was monumental, for tampering with such primal forces could unravel the very fabric of reality. The army knew the stakes were high. Failure would mean the loss of one of their greatest allies to the void, a shift that could tip the scales in the cosmic struggle. As they prepared to channel the Heart of Light, a solemn determination settled over them, a resolve forged in the crucible of countless battles. They stood at the precipice of creation's duality, poised to reclaim the light from its darkened abyss or to witness its final descent into shadow. This endeavor, marked by both hope and peril, represented more than a mere struggle against the Legion. It was a testament to the resilience of the light, a declaration that even in the universe's darkest corners, the potential for redemption endured. As the army braced for the ritual, the cosmos itself seemed to hold its breath, awaiting the outcome of this pivotal moment. As the cosmic timeline unfolded towards its inevitable climax, the stage was set for a battle that would echo through the annals of history. The Burning Legion, an embodiment of destruction and chaos, gathered its might to crush the last vestiges of hope that the Army of the Light clung to. It was upon the desecrated remnants of Argus, the Legion's stronghold, that the final confrontation would erupt. Here, the very air crackled with the malevolent energy of fell magic, and the skies wept with the green storms of annihilation. The Army of the Light, now a symbol of unity and resilience, stood poised against this infernal fury. Among their ranks were the light-forged Draenei, their bodies imbued with the celestial power of the Naaru, their very essence a beacon against the encroaching night. They were joined by champions from myriad worlds, each bringing their unique strengths to this last bastion of resistance. Paladins, warriors of unwavering faith, raised their hammers and shields, their armaments glowing with the light of 1,000 suns. Yet this was no ordinary battle. The Legion, with its vast array of demonic horrors, sought to overwhelm the army with sheer numbers and unrelenting aggression. The air was thick with the stench of sulfur and the cries of otherworldly beasts, each one a twisted creation of fell energies. The ground trembled beneath the weight of infernals, massive constructs of stone and fire, while the sky was darkened by the wings of fellbats, their shrieks a cacophony of doom. In the heart of this maelstrom, the Naaru themselves descended. These celestial beings, the embodiment of pure light, shone with a brilliance that defied the encroaching darkness. Their presence was a rallying cry, invigorating the weary soldiers of the light, filling their hearts with a renewed sense of purpose. As the Legion unleashed its most fearsome generals, beings of unspeakable power and malice, the Naaru's radiance stood as a bastion against despair. But the challenge was not just the Legion's relentless assault. The very fabric of reality seemed to waver on Argus, where the boundaries between worlds were thin and fragile. Here, the Legion had tapped into the planet's deep-seated corruption, twisting the energies of creation and destruction alike. The Army of the Light faced not only the physical might of their enemies, but the very threat of annihilation at a cosmic scale. Amidst this chaos, the leaders of the army convened. Velen, the prophet, his eyes alight with visions of what could be, sought guidance from the Naaru. Their whispers, a melody of hope and determination, spoke of a singular path to victory. It was a path fraught with danger, requiring sacrifices that would test the resolve of even the most stalwart. Yet, it promised a glimmer of salvation, a chance to turn the tide against the Legion once and for all. And so, with hearts steeled by the light of the Naaru and the weight of destiny upon their shoulders, the army of the light prepared to strike back. The final confrontation loomed, a crescendo in the symphony of cosmic conflict, where the fate of not just Azeroth, but the very universe, would hang in the balance. The army of the light, an alliance forged in the crucible of cosmic struggle, now faced the daunting task of confronting the burning Legion on the shattered world of Argus. Here, amidst the desolate landscapes scarred by fell energies and ancient power, their final stand against Sargeras' infernal creation would unfold. This was a battlefield where history and destiny converged, where the valor of countless heroes would be tested against the relentless tide of demonic fury. Legions of demons, commanded by the most fearsome generals of the Legion, awaited them. These were beings of malevolence, creatures born from the darkest corners of the twisting nether, fueled by a hatred as boundless as the cosmos itself. Each general was a master of warfare, each demon a testament to the corruption that had seeped into the very bones of Argus. The army of the light, however, was undeterred, its members fortified by the unwavering resolve bestowed upon them by their celestial allies. As the battle commenced, light clashed with shadow in a spectacle of cosmic magnitude. The light-forged, warriors transformed by sacred rites, stood at the forefront, their radiant sigils glimmering like stars amidst the darkness. Their weapons, imbued with the pure essence of light, cut through demonic ranks with righteous fury, carving a path towards the heart of the Legion's power. Yet the Legion was not without its own formidable arsenal. The air crackled with feel energies as infernals rained down from the sky, their impact shaking the very foundation of the battlefield. Warlocks of the Legion channeled chaotic magic, weaving spells designed to tear the fabric of reality itself. But the army of the light, bolstered by their diverse coalition of races and the tactical acumen honed through years of relentless struggle, pressed on with unyielding determination. Amidst the chaos, the Naaru themselves descended upon Argus, their radiant forms illuminating the battlefield with a brilliance that defied the shadows. Their presence was a beacon of hope, an embodiment of the light's promise to vanquish the darkness. They sang in voices that resonated with the very soul of the universe, their harmonies a clarion call for courage and unity. The battle raged on, a tempest of light and shadow, where every strike, every spell cast, echoed the eternal conflict between hope and despair. The champions of the light fought with the knowledge that the stakes were immeasurable, that victory or defeat here would shape the fate of countless worlds. As the sun set upon the war-torn plains of Argus, the army of the light found themselves at the precipice of triumph or annihilation. Their resolve, tested and tempered by the fires of conflict, held firm. The final confrontation was nearing its zenith, a moment poised to redefine the cosmos. The echoes of the battle would resonate across the ages, a testament to the enduring struggle against the forces of darkness. Thus, with the universe's fate hanging in the balance, the army of the light's ultimate test lay before them. A test of faith, unity, and the indomitable spirit of those who dared to dream of a universe free from the shackles of the Legion's tyranny. In the wake of the colossal battles that raged across the stars, a new chapter unfurled for the army of the light. As the echoes of war slowly faded, the universe stood on the precipice of transformation. The Naaru, those ethereal harbingers of the light, looked upon the realms they had strived to protect, pondering the legacy they would leave behind. It was a time of reflection, for the sacrifices made were immense, yet the promise of a dawn unblemished by the shadows of the Legion was within reach. The light had endured, though battered and tested, and its champions emerged not only as victors, but as the architects of a new era. Among the light-forged, who bore the luminous sigils of their transformation, there was a profound sense of purpose. They understood that the battles fought were but stepping stones on a path to a greater destiny. The universe, once threatened by the insidious Fel, now glimpsed the possibility of harmony. In this nascent dawn, the Lightbound arose, a testament to the enduring will of those who had aligned themselves with the cosmic forces of good. The Lightbound, a coalition of beings from myriad worlds, symbolized the unity that the Naaru had long envisioned. Their ranks included not only the Lightforged Draenei, but also champions from diverse origins, each contributing their unique strengths to the collective cause. This newfound alliance was bound by a shared vision of a universe where the light's influence could finally flourish unimpeded. Yet even as the Lightbound gathered their strength, the universe remained a tapestry woven with the threads of light and void. The Naaru, ever vigilant, understood that vigilance must persist. The threat of the Void Lords, ancient and enigmatic, loomed ever present. The cosmic dance between light and shadow was far from concluded, and the potential for darkness to encroach once more was a reality that could not be ignored. Thus, the Lightbound turned their gaze toward the future, their resolve unbroken. Guided by the Naaru's wisdom, they embarked on a mission not of conquest, but of enlightenment. They sought to heal the scars left by ages of conflict, to mend the rifts between worlds, and to foster an era where understanding and collaboration eclipsed the specters of war. The light, they knew, was not a weapon, but a beacon, a guide to a brighter tomorrow. With each step forward, they carried the lessons of the past, determined to create a legacy that would endure through the ages. As the first rays of this new dawn illuminated the cosmos, the Lightbound prepared to embrace their role as harbingers of unity and enlightenment. Within their ranks, the Lightbound embodied the culmination of countless struggles, sacrifices, and triumphs. They were the torchbearers of an evolving legacy, one that would illuminate the cosmos with the enduring brilliance of hope and resilience. As they gathered under the celestial tapestry, the echoes of ancient battles and alliances reverberated through their minds, each memory a testament to their unyielding spirit. In the wake of victory, the Lightbound turned their gaze inward, understanding that the path to a lasting peace required more than the vanquishing of foes. It demanded introspection and the willingness to confront the shadows within their own hearts. The Naaru, ever their guides, imparted the wisdom that true enlightenment came not from the absence of darkness, but from the embrace of its lessons. The Lightbound were tasked with nurturing this balance, ensuring that the light of understanding would shine even in the darkest corners of existence. As they traversed the stars, the Lightbound became emissaries of a new order, one where the concept of war was transformed into the pursuit of harmony. Worlds once ravaged by the flames of conflict now looked to the Lightbound as symbols of renewal and growth. Their presence heralded an age where past enmities could be reconciled and ancient wounds could finally heal. They forged alliances not through force, but through shared dreams of a universe united in purpose. Among the Lightbound, a new generation of heroes emerged. Individuals who exemplified the ideals of courage, wisdom, and compassion. These champions, inspired by the legacy of their predecessors, took up the mantle of leadership. They ventured forth, not as conquerors, but as stewards of peace. Their journeys brought them to the farthest reaches of the cosmos, where they planted the seeds of hope and watched them flourish. In this new dawn, the Lightbound understood the fragility of their accomplishments. The balance they sought was a delicate one, requiring vigilance and the constant nurturing of alliances. Yet they were undeterred, driven by the conviction that the light was a force for creation, not destruction. They pressed onward, ever mindful of the lessons learned from their battles against the darkness. And so, under the watchful eyes of the Naaru, the legacy of the Lightbound continued to unfold. It was a legacy not just of victories, but of understanding, a beacon that would guide future generations through the trials and triumphs yet to come. As the Lightbound journeyed into the vast expanse of the cosmos, They carried with them the hope of a universe where the light shone brightly in every heart and mind. In this vision, they found their purpose, and in this purpose, they found peace.